Mputi Street in Jabavu, Soweto holds great significance to the event of the 16th of June 1976. And on the very same street is the Morick Isaacson School, and opposite the street is the Memorial Acre, a center of memory. Now, this center is going to be our home for today as we bring you a series of stories that we've compiled of young achievers who have decided to take ownership of their lives and change their lives for the better, regardless of the challenges that were presented to them.
It is on this day that we are reminded of how true and powerful those words truly are. It marks a very significant moment in the history of South Africa. It marks the day where black students gathered on the streets of Soweto to protest being forced to be educated in Afrikaans. But this day is not only a day where students are remembered for their courage and passion, but it is also a day where 176 students who tragically lost their lives are remembered and honored. June 16 is about remembering the past because it is also the future. It represents a turning point for South Africa. 40 years later, we see that the sacrifices made in 1976 have granted opportunities to the youth of today. Bophelong looks back at some of the youth it has profiled, and we celebrate the achievements and strides made by today's generation of young people.
Before Powersuit and running a successful business, Matsidiso Mudisa was just a girl growing up in the rural Free State.
I lived most of my life in Kwakwa in the Free State. That's where most of my family is, grandmother, aunties, cousins. So when I say home, I say Kitswa Kwakwa. I'm coming from the Free State, Kwakwa. And then we moved to Bloemfontein, in 1994, when now black people were allowed to live in suburbs and go to multiracial schools. So we had the opportunity to do that.
Growing up, Matsidiso wasn't part of the popular circles in school, but everybody knew her.
In primary school, I was one of the prefects, and at primary school, what do you know? But already people could see my leadership ability. And then in high school, I was a deputy vice, head girl. I was drama captain. I was, head of my house.
With career-oriented parents, she was encouraged to dream big and work towards good grades in school so that she can qualify for those rare opportunities in the job market.
I went to university at Wits University and I studied a BCom degree. And after studying my BCom degree, I then had an opportunity to work as an intern at one of the big investment banks called Investec. And essentially that's where everything started. When I talked to my former bosses, whom I engage with now, they were like, well, we could tell that you are different because you're an intern, you're here for 2 months and you're already asking for business cards. You want to have your own business cards. And as an intern, it's like, why would she want her own business cards? So already I was business minded. I was never necessarily comfortable with process, coming in at 9 o'clock and leaving at 5 o'clock.
And so it was. She left the world of investment and ventured into entrepreneurship.
My mom said, well, I have this company, Emerge, and you can join me if, you don't have any other options or if you would like to work with small businesses and help me grow this company. So that for me was more appealing. When I arrived at home, after I left Johannesburg, I actually met my first client. I met a lady who worked for the University of the Free State in the entrepreneurship division. And she told me about what she does. I thought, oh, this is interesting. This is what my mom is doing. We're working with small businesses in the Free State. And then she said, well, there is a Professor Johan van Zyl that, he's the head of this unit of entrepreneurship. And I think, you should engage with him. So meeting her introduced me to Johan van Zyl, who then happened to be my first client because he was saying that, wow, nice to meet you. I have secured some funding from the Netherlands. They're wanting me to support small businesses in the rural Free State. I told my mom, we have to kind of capitalize on the fact that big companies have to support small businesses and train them. Why don't we play that role of training and supporting and mentoring and linking and all of that? So that's the value that I added into the organization.
While working with her mother, she discovered that she was interested in working full-time to develop small businesses, so she started her first business.
So Simodisa, it's an industry association for entrepreneurs by entrepreneurs. We do advocacy work, with the public and the private sector. So we look at policy review and policy around developing small businesses in South Africa. And then we would do policy recommendations to the government saying, guys, this is not working because this is how it's stifling and challenging entrepreneurs. So there's regular engagements with the government and the private sector.
With very little data on small businesses, Simodisa had their work cut out for them.
In our country, we haven't been able to map who is who in the zoo. So it's very difficult for small businesses to try go from one place to another. So Simodisa's vision is to how do we consolidate this ecosystem, this community of entrepreneurship, so that it's easy for any entrepreneur to know that this is South Africa and here are all the people to fund us. This is South Africa and here are all the people to incubate us and be able to navigate through the space. So we do research in that regard, and then the creation and the promotion of venture capital.
She was well on her way. Her vision through her company was well received. Potential investors were looking to get involved, but the period while waiting for capital to start flowing in was the most challenging.
For me, there was a point of transition in my life when, before I joined Simodisa last year, I used to run another organization. And that transition period, you didn't have a job, or you didn't have things were not working out well. You spent a lot of your money having to pay salaries, people were taking you to the CCMA. I mean, those are the dark and hairy things about being your self-starter, running your own show. And there are times when you really don't have money to buy bread and put on the table. So people don't understand when you're in that stage. If there are one or two or three people that are special in my life, and those are the people that emerged when I was going through my tough times. And the people that shouldn't have been in my life, they're all gone now.
Matshidiso Modise has created a name for herself as a young female entrepreneur. Her passion for economic development has made her dedicate her knowledge and skill to uplifting young, innovative entrepreneurs. Through her company, she has created projects that has nurtured innovation.
Kasi to Kasi is, it's a project that I introduced for Simodisa because Kasi Go Digital. We believe that a lot of the township entrepreneurs, they are not, I attended a conference in Switzerland last week. And they were talking about the fourth industrial revolution and how it's underpinned by technology. So the first industrial revolution was, locomotives. How do you get people from one place to another? Second industrial was electrification. Third industrial revolution was the internet. And then now the fourth industrial revolution is technology. So in South Africa, at any point, there are a lot of people that cannot get from one place to another with ease. It's difficult. The infrastructure is not in place. In South Africa, there are a lot of people who don't have access to electricity. Kasi to Kasi Go Digital is a program where we go into townships and we introduce technology to township entrepreneurs and say, guys, you can't be writing down, money in, money out. There are a lot of digital software programs that you can buy and make it very easy for you to actually record your books.
Matshidiso's keen interest in growing small businesses through the encouragement to make use of technology has been recognized globally. That's why she was awarded the title of Global Shaper in 2015. This scored her an invite to this year's World Economic Forum.
I shared my stories of where I come from, the work that I do, and I represented the entrepreneurs that I work with.
Call her mentor, visionary, go-getter, globetrotter or nurturer, Matshidiso is certainly comfortable in her own skin. She is pursuing her purpose and the world has certainly taken notice.
Technology isn't all scary. There's also fun stuff like gaming.
Lots of women do play games, whether it's on their phones or their tablets.
Then there are Africans who are using new tools to make other people's lives much easier.
We typed the whole CV on a small, QWERTY Nokia phone.
For all these and other technology and social media news, join me, Spumelele Zondi, every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Central African Time on SABC News.
Welcome back to Bophelong right here on SABC News. Today we're coming straight to you from the Memorial Acre in Jabavu, Soweto. Now this center serves as a reminder of the sacrifices that went into shaping our country into what it is today. Our country boasts of its dark past because out of the dark past came an undeniably bright nation. Now one person that holds testimony to this statement is Nkoketse Mametsi. He made sure that he turns his life around. He is now an entrepreneur who speaks bravely and proudly about his past of being unemployed and impoverished. Take a look.
Nkoketse Mametsi is not a shoe fixer or a shoe pimper. He's a shoe designer and maker. All his shoes are handmade and the only machine he uses is a sewing machine for threading. He has always been a big dreamer and this is where he started.
Khule vele ngiphanda ngithanda ukuziphandela ngazi ukuthi okay elifini mafuna ukuba nezinto ufuna ukusipane wazi ukuthi uyazihlanganisela yonke into.
Growing up in a township east of Johannesburg, Nkoketse did not have it all easy.
My old age in the time I divorce, then that thing elifini yami yangiphazamisa nje yabona. But ngazitshela nje ukuthi hayi yazini into zomhlaba kuyafana yabona. Then to a point ukuthi beku-rough mfethu azange ngiphathe grand to the point ukuthi I've even tried committing suicide. That's how bad it divorce hit me yabona. And mara ngazitshela ngaphuma esibhedlele ngaba grand but ngazitshela ukuthi yazini life goes on. Then one day I met my father surgery. Wangitshela the way ngeke ngiphumelele ngakhona, the way ngizobhayiziseka ngelife. That thing yangiphusha futhi ukuthi try commit suicide again because clearly we are not with it, we are useless. Shy depression, I dropped out esikolweni trying at least ukuthi sister lami lona libe grand mina ngizozihlanganisela ngendlela engihlanganisa ngayo. Then I committed suicide. I ended up in hospital. ICU eBophelong. Ngipayiseka nje elife yabona. Dear ukuthi awubaba ngitshele the way useless ngakhona.
His mother, who was now a single parent to 2 children, explains how Nkoketse conquered depression and started acting like a man from a young age.
Kwaba khona isikhathi la ekhaya kuba nzima. Nkoketse ahlela zama. Nkoketse monna uyinkaka itshelete. Nkoketse athi hayi ngiyakoropa. Ukoropa kayi? Ara ngiyakoropa kube la emabhayisikili.
Amazing his mother with his eagerness to start small businesses from a young age, Nkoketse was only beginning to write his success story, fighting against the harsh words his dad once told him.
Welcome to the Lasby Original Studios. You are welcome to see what we do at Lasby Original. At Lasby Original, we make shoes.
Now living his dream, Nkoketse makes shoes, bags, wallets, and belts out of real leather, and this is how his multi-dimensional business started.
I decided, since ngithanda fashion, let me go and register a company. I registered company 2009, company Lasby Original.
The main factor that pushed him to start making shoes was when he had no money to buy himself a pair.
Selling a one pair of shoe, support ejaridini mntana sekhaya but ngifuna bonke babe grand yabona ngicabanga ukuthi nema angisho ngiyakwazi ukwenza ama bro ngiyakwazi ukwenza ama shirt ngiyakwazi ukwenza impahla so isicathulo ngizohlulwa yini? Hayi, indeed vele. Lese ngisele ngazo. Impintshi yami uJwadi, Knox, I think you must get shoes now. Hey, because you go to gigs and you've got that torn shoe. No, Joe, don't worry. I'll make a plan. Indeed, uJwadi, here's some money, $200. Go buy yourself shoes. Aye, Knox, quality Joes, ngithole ama-piece wama-leather. Ngithenge vele ngithenge. Awu. Okay, sengisicacile isicathulo uma ngibuya. Sekumele isicathulo ke siyenzwe ke. Hey. Okay, ngiyabona kuhlanganisiwe, but now the trick is how do they shape the shoe? Yabona. Hayi. Faka oversize baba yaka Joe. Jozi. Ngihlangane nomunye ubhuti bathi Washington Motse wasezimo. So masihlangana hayi mfethu ngimtshela mfethu ngiyabona nenza le icathulo leli ziyenzwa kanjani icathulo hayi my friend come niye nami vele how much have you got my friend you know nothing is for mahala ngitho hayi no don't worry what do you want yabona no give me 300 rand I give you shoe last what size are you size 7 okay size 7 angimnamathele ke lo Washington I want you to show me ezinye izinto ngisenze isicathulo vele siphele.
Ngoketso, now bitterly known as Knox to his clients, understands that anything can be turned into wealth.
Since then I never looked back. Ngaqala ngayenzela uBaby Joe icathulo full time sengimenzela icathulo. Then there's a guy called Jeff Ndibeng.
From being taught by a street shoemaker to having his brand recognized by South African celebrities and prominent people, Last Be Original caters for all those who choose to stand out from the crowd with unique designer shoes, belts, and bags. Now having a showroom in the heart of Melville, Johannesburg, Ngoketse makes shoes and accessories from all types of genuine leather. His leather ranges from crocodile, ostrich, elephant, snake, and even cow leather. The Last Be Original brand is only around for one purpose.
We are not there to establish our customers. Our main aim is to amaze our customers. Mangit amaze in terms of detail, as I've taken you through the process of making shoes for Zulupo you have seen. Nabona ukuthi uphuma jabulile yonke into vele begrand. So namanje I want to soldier on, iphumelele lifeini, bhayile uledi lami idlala, ngisibhayile idlala, then mase ngigugile nyana, ngisithole ngeplot nenkomo zami. Then iplot lona ngilifunelani, still making shoes, but I want to take people through the whole process of inkomo mase ihlatshiwe, iledi yenzwa kanjani, idaywa kanjani. So into igqokile you know exactly ukuthi kuze kanjani ukuthi bekhona, you know.
Through the journey of losing his father through divorce, Ngoketse Mametse vividly proves that no one can take away your dreams from you.
One other person has been shot dead and another is in a critical condition in hospital.
The CRL has laid charges against controversial televangelist Paseka Mutsoeneng.
More than 1.3 million South Africans have been added in the past two registration weekends.
The International Monetary Fund warns that policy uncertainty could dampen economic growth in South Africa.
And all eyes are on the new Bok coach, Alistair Coetzee. He's challenged to keep everyone in the country happy.
Welcome back to the last leg of our program, and behind me is the beautiful and yet impactful memorial wall here at Jabavu Soweto Memorial Acre. Now, over the years, the struggles that young people faced had changed, but most often, young people also find themselves in positions that leave them disempowered. This, however, is changing with the likes of Duduzile Ngwenya, who is a DJ, and she decided to take the unconventional route with her career. Have a look at her story.
Duduzile Ngwenya, also known as DJ Lady Du. She's a DJ, a dancer, a singer, and she works with cars. It's rare to find a lady so glamorous in auto mechanics and working with cars. It may not look so glamorous, but this business is what started and now feeds Lady Du's music career. Sometimes you have to get your hands dirty to reach your dreams. 25-year-old Duduzile got her hands covered in oil before she could turn tables or even hold a microphone.
I'm gonna go Lana because I was inspired by ama guys that was seven Zalana. Some of them are foreigners, some of them beba like they were new to the industry, and abanye bathola makawashi, abanye beba cleaner. So it was a song called "I Victory Dance." It's more rap-ish, and I sing at the same time. So it says the fact that you woke up means you can start all over. Whatever it is you've been working towards and for is yours. It doesn't matter where you come from. It's about where you're going. So, do the victory dance. See how pambili. Backwards never. So, yeah, do the victory dance. See how pambili. Backwards never. So, do the victory dance. See how pambili. I was born and raised live Bophelong. Who's always been a woman who likes inspiring other people, trying by all means to be an example to everyone around me.
Dudu had always been around boys from a very young age, and this makes perfect sense why she's dominating in industries that are known to be for males.
You know, even you can even tell sometimes in dress sense I am more of a lady but a tomboy 40 at the same time. So
when other girls were entertained by cute and feminine things, Lady Du's interest was in cars.
And I'd look at cars, buy magazines as a motto. I fell in love with that and started looking at cars as something I wanted to be more of a race girl type of thing, you know, but it didn't work out, and I'd watch F1 all the time. So I started falling in love with it, that I'd chill nabo mechanic and just watch what they were doing. Then I'd be like, can I also tell them something? And then they'd be like, no, but you can't, because the way you corner and the way when corner is two different things. You know what? Regardless of me being in beauty, I'm still the boy inside. So let me try it out, and that's how it started.
The love and curiosity for cars is evident because she now runs and owns one of 4 Chalks Auto Salvage, and this has grown her knowledge about cars.
I practically know everything now about cars. I know what the engine consists of, what about alternator, about starter, wiring. I know all of that, like the things that make the engine. You know, those are the things that I do because I work with cars. I sell. I'm a parts corner, so I know each and every part. The engine ingapuga because of one bolt. The engine ingapuga because of a little brush inside a starter. You know, so. It's things that we don't know, like about tires, how to change tires and stuff. And I've always seen I'm a faza baningi where you get stuck and you don't know what it is. You know, you wait for the light to say yini inte soy pugil and whatever. And sometimes lights are wrong because you might think it's starter, alternator. You know, because it does not show each and everything that is broken. So me in a car, I know everything.
She may have started in mechanics and still working with cars every day, but femininity is still present even through her ideas.
I was more curious as to what makes a car, so that maybe one day when I can, I'll build my own car, you know, because that's what I really want to do. Like, honestly and truly, I want to have a car that is so different from every other car that will accommodate women, you know, a car that can have a lipstick holder, you know, or a car that can have a tire that does not need you to take out and whatever, that will be user-friendly for women. So that is why I'm learning more about what is inside a car, what makes a car, what makes it start, what makes it drive, what helps a mirror to that light, light and stuff, so that it could be like user-friendly for women, because I feel like most cars are built for men. Because everything, if in Puga, it's only a man that can fix it. Not unless you know and you grew up in a place where you know you can fix cars.
Her grandmother describes how she has always been amazed of Dudu's capabilities.
Dudu asesemncane wayengimangaza vele nami kumntwana nje brave oqinile nje yazi ene ngaze wangimangaza nangelinye ilanga ngiphukelwe iBolt yase endlini encane wangifakela yona iBolt ngathi hawu Dudu nomsebenzi yabo baba uyayazi ngathi lo mntwana kanti umntwana onjani hayi khona wangihlula kakhulu maka ayenza nomsebenzi wabo baba ngathi mina bengisathi ngiyofuna umuntu azongifakela le iBolt le hayi wangifakela yona.
When you want something so bad, you're forced not to lose focus. And Dudu's father instilled professionalism in his daughter.
We sit every day, regardless of the nails or the whatever. You sit at scrapyard, you work, you have to make sure there's revenue. He even gives you as umtanake a target. Listen, this is how much I want a month and this is what you're going to get. If you don't get it, then extra hours. You put in extra hours.
She may have walked into the scrapyard on the very first day with absolutely no hope, but it's this very same yard that inspired her to write songs, the very same yard that gave her hope, and it's now a business that's sustaining her number one passion, music.
For me, as Ulady Do, this is where my career started. This is what funded the career I am, and this is what made me the woman that I am today. I am a strong person inside because of knowing how to work like a man and understanding the value of having izinto not given to you but working for them. So if I had to sit here the whole day and work, then that's it, because at the end of the day I wanted what I wanted and I got it through Scrapyards.
And with that, we found ourselves here at the very end of this timeline of the famous memorial wall that you're most likely to come across when you come to the Memorial Acre. Now, it starts from way at the back, and it's a recorded time of a series of events that took place during that day. And right now, I'm standing just opposite the timeline that was recorded at 11 p.m. And around that time, the Bophelong bottle store is attacked with the bombs. Police fire on the attackers, and it is established that later that day 11 people had died and 2 of the wounded died later. Now that's what brings us to the sacrifice that young people had fought for. Although the struggle continues, it's important to capture and respect the freedom that we've been handed to as young people of South Africa. Thank you so much for watching. We've come to the end of our show. Join me again next week as we bring you another young achiever. Goodbye.